Welcome to Stir Up Your Purpose channel. I believe your day is going great. Today I'm sharing a thought class from the Mount Hood seminar series given by Herb Fitch in 1976. I hope you are able to watch the first class titled 10 Soul Commandments and the second class titled World Transformation. Altogether, there are 10 classes in this series, and this third class that I'm sharing today is titled Infinite I-Ness. In this series, Herb takes the listeners on a soul journey. It brings out the inner truth of the symbolic meanings of the 10 commandments. And in this third class, he expands on the deeper meaning of the third and fourth commandments. You're going to love this talk, especially if your desire is to live the infinite way and willing to put the concepts and principles to practice. What I can assure you is that if you can abide and realize this truth within you, spirit will respond and the form, the body, will be moved to do that which is reasonable and sensible. The only question is, will you respond to those inner promptings and leadings without second guessing yourself? I would like to share a personal story to illustrate this. Way back in 2000 or 2001, that was 6 or 7 years after my marriage. In that time, we were believing God for our first child. We believed that it will happen. And during that time, in vitro fertilization, that is IVF, was getting popular. And someone approached me and was willing to cover the cost of the IVF, no strings attached. But we did not accept the offer. And if I recollect correctly, it was for two main reasons. For me, I felt I would be in debt, one way or the other, to that person. And for my wife, she felt going the IVF way is not trusting in the Lord. And based on that, we dropped it. But in retrospect, we missed the mark and violated the principle of the absolute or infinite way. We do not need to know the how, but in that moment, we were fixated on it happening in a particular way. Never you worry about the how, but be very clear about what you really want and abide in the truth that you can never lack that which seems to be lacking. And as you abide in truth, pay attention to the inner leadings and watch how the rhythm of spirit flows and orchestrates things in a natural and beautiful way in response to that which you have realized within yourself. This reminds me of a parable of the drowning man, also known as two boats and a helicopter story, about a devoutly Christian man who refuses several rescue attempts in the face of approaching floodwaters, each time telling the would-be rescuers that God will save him. After turning down the last, he drowns in the flood. After his death, the man meets God and asks why he did not intervene. God responds that he sent all the would-be rescuers to the man's aid on the expectation he will accept the help. I leave you with this favorite Herb Fitch statement, and I quote, "Where do you begin and where does God end? Is there a place where God ends and you begin? And if you can find that place where God ends and you begin, you will not be in the absolute truth." Think about it a moment. Is there a God and you, Or is there a God without a beginning and without an ending? And now try to find yourself in that picture. Now, if you want to be absolute and you find no place where God ends and you begin, then you must go deeper than the surface of that understanding. You must then act from that awareness. See if you can accept that there is no place where God ends and you begin. And when you feel you can accept it, make the correction in consciousness. Family, knowing you can never go back to a place where there is a separation between God and yourself. And now go even deeper, because there is no place where God ends and I begin. I and the Father are one. But God is Spirit, and if you have pledged yourself to absolute truth, you must now accept that because God does not end and you begin, but God is continuous and God is Spirit. The only reality to which you can answer is, I am Spirit.